Welcome to the Tactical Nuke channel. Today, I'm going to be showing you guys how to play Cycle Deck, because Cycle Decks are one of the highest skill cap decks in the game, and they take a lot of practice to learn. So in this video, I'm going to be showing you all the tips and tricks on how to start making and using your own Cycle Deck. So going into a deck, the first cards that you want to be able to use are Cycle cards. One of the cards is Ice Spirit or Skeletons, or worst case scenario, you can use your Win Condition as a Cycle card, like this. Now he placed a Goblin Barrel, so I'm gonna Earthquake it, and it's gonna basically kill the Goblin, the Dark Goblin. Now he does place a Knight in front of it, so I'm going to log it. Now the point of Cycle Decks is to be using as little Elixir as possible on defense, so you can keep cycling back to your Hog Rider. As you can see, because I used very low Elixir cards, I was able to cycle to my Hog Rider very quickly, and he had to waste a rocket. Now usually with Cycle Decks, you're going to want to end it pretty quickly because a lot of the time they aren't very good in double Elixir. So as you can see, I'm going to be playing a lot of plays and trying to end the game really quickly. Now if your Ice Spirit or Spirit is under leveled, you can place Skeletons in front so it can tank for it and still reach the tower. That's one tip. Also, you gotta remember what the point of a Cycle Deck is. It's for you to cycle to your win condition before your opponent can cycle to their counter. So as you can see, my opponent's counter to my Hog Rider is Skeleton Army, which means if I can cycle to it before he has his Skeleton Army, then that's a win in my book. Now I gotta do the same thing. I gotta be able to cycle to my Tesla before he can cycle to his Hog Rider. That's also important to keep in mind. Otherwise, he's going to get a lot of damage, like he did there. Now, he did just waste his rocket, which means all he has left to counter is Skeleton Army. And he's instead just going to go for a Dark Goblin, actually, which means I am going to get one hit. He's going to place a Knight in front of it or something, so I'm going to go for a Log just to be safe. Now, his Hog Rider is over leveled, so I'm going to go with Skeletons also, just so I can be safe. Now it looks like my opponent is going with a Hog bait deck, which means he's going to be cycling rockets too a lot. I'm just going to keep cycling my Hog Rider plus Earthquake. And too bad it doesn't kill his Dark Goblin, I'm also going to have to waste a Log. Now he's going to go for that. I'm just going to go for some Skeletons in the back. I'm going to Valkyrie on his Wizard, and I'm just going to go for a Tesla for his Hog Rider. Now I'm going to go for another Hog Rider to try and boost the Valkyrie, but it did not work. Now I am going to take his tower now, and that is GG's. So in overview, you want to be able to cycle to your cards really fast. You want to cycle your win condition, and you also want to cycle the counter to your opponent's win condition. That's the whole point of a Cycle Deck. Let's get into another game. So with our starting cards, some of the cards you're going to want to cycle is your Spirit, your Log, or just really anything that's cheap. Now I did not predict those Spirit Golems. That was purely luck. Now he's gonna go for an E-Giant in the back, which for cycle players, unless you're really good, can be a really big struggle. So I'm gonna go for a low place Tesla, and he is gonna go for a Goblin Barrel. I'm just gonna Valkyrie that. And whenever you see a scary E-Giant like this, what you wanna do is you wanna cycle to your win conditions. Not cycle to your win conditions, you want to cycle to your damage dealing cards, because you want to get rid of that giant as fast as possible, otherwise it's going to be a big threat. Now he is going to kill my Firecracker, but I'm pretty sure the Wizard's only going to get one hit, which is fine. I'm going to go for a Hog Rider now, and I'm going to Earthquake whatever building he has. So he does not go for a building, he does go for a Skeleton Army though, which means we are going to get 2 hits, which is nice. He is going to do Spear Golem, so I'm just going to go for a Ice Spirit. Now you may notice that I placed that Ice Spirit really late, and that's because if I placed it on time, then the Spear Golems would have killed it before it could have placed. So that Electro Giant is dead. I might have to Log though, just to keep from him getting any damage. But there, easy. And now that I killed his E-Giant, I can just cycle back to another Hog Rider, which is the whole point of this deck, to be cycling. Now he's gonna go for another Skeleton Army. I don't have enough for an Earthquake, so I'm gonna go for an Ice Spirit just to get rid of it, so it's not a problem. Okay, he does go for that. I had to Valkyrie there. Otherwise, it would have gotten a lot of damage. Now he is going to let it connect. I think he just gave up. I'm just going to say good game. Because whenever you're winning, you want to be playing mind games with them. If I say good game, it might make him more likely to give up and just stop. But he did not give up actually for some reason. So I'm just going to place another Tesla. If you don't know what to place because the giant is very far away, what you can do is you can just place an early Tesla. Too bad that did not kill the wizard. So what I just did there was I cycled back to another Tesla. Now I'm going to place another Firecracker. Because if you're using a Firecracker deck, one thing you can do is see how many Firecrackers you can get on the map. Because the more Firecrackers you have, the harder it is for your opponent to get damage. And it really does stack up really nicely. As you can see, because I have so many Firecrackers, I'm just destroying that E-Giant. And we won. I hope this video was helpful, guys. I hope you learned some tips and tricks about using cycle decks, and remember to subscribe to my channel for more future coming content in Clash Royale, and see ya!